4Ds Metrics provides a rapid and efficient platform for startups and companies to develop desirable and feasible products for the viable business model. With the 4Ds Metrics approach and tools, defined to understand the customer's needs and find possible solutions while considering the entire solution space. Design a detailed design of the proposed solution and shape the products or services' desirability and feasibility. Develop a product or service that serves the identified needs, ensuring the viability and sustainability of the product and its impact on the environment. Deploy a minimum viable product, MVP, for the customer validation, traction building, and go-to-market strategy testing.
We are doing the second part of Define, which is market research and customer needs analysis. Most especially here, we're looking at your market, because what we did yesterday was thinking about the hypothesis, the assumptions you have to start this business, mapping out your business idea and your team. Today, we're going out to the market to actually see if we really have a market, if we have clients for our businesses, or if the need we want to solve actually exists. I know some of you might be thinking, maybe I'm not solving for a world crisis or a war, but every business idea should be able to solve a need. And when we say a need, it doesn't have to be a negative. Maybe you are you're serving people that want to have luxury. So you're bringing in a new luxurious car. That cannot stop you from producing the car just because it doesn't solve world hunger. So there's always ways to explain the need you're solving at this point. Now, so market research is made of two words. There's market and there's research. We're talking about doing research for your market. There are two types of research, and most of these things I will go through them very fast because you can read after this session, and I will take more time explaining to you guys the templates and the assignments, because I know some of you have been struggling a bit on the assignments. So secondary research is part of the two types of research. Secondary research is you going out there and see what other people have said about the need you're trying to solve, or maybe the product you are trying to innovate, or any other relevant data that validate the need you're trying to solve. So what papers are out there, what videos are out there, what research, what articles, what news, what information can you get on the internet, especially now that we have the internet that has summed up all the information that people can use. So that's secondary research. Now, primary research is when you as a business person or people that are part of your team go out there to meet the potential market and get first-hand information. So this is your contribution to the bigger secondary research for the future researchers. So you're going out there doing surveys, doing interviews, observing the market, asking questions, talking to the people that you think you want to serve for you to get the actual information. So you're asking them about the need you want to solve so that you can validate the need and know whether you want to go forward with the need or not. Now, the other part of research that you do, which we call internal search methods, which are the brainstorming, you are sitting down with your team and talking about ideas on what others have done before. This is especially after you've done the secondary research, writing down what your ideas. So basically you're doing a lot of brainstorming internally. So you are writing as many ideas as possible of the solution. You're writing as many explanations as possible for the need you're trying to solve internally in your team. So like we said in the definitions on Monday, internal search is brainstorming, external search is benchmarking. You're looking at what has other innovators or other problem solvers done in the past. Now, while you're also doing secondary research, it's also important to know that when you're validating the need, you're also validating the presence of your market. When you go out there, you could have an actual problem, but you don't have a market for the product you're trying to bring that solves the problem. So you go out there and do a market research and know that there's actually a need. So when you go to the market to do research, you're validating your assumptions. So you have a list of assumptions that you're going out there to validate. If you're saying mothers need a cup that toddlers can hold by themselves, you're going out there to actually find out whether mothers really need that cup. And then you do the research, like I said, interview tips, so surveys, interviews, observation. You write good questions so that you can get good answers. These are key definitions. So the market is a segment of the population that you're designing your product for, and the need is a problem that your product is going to solve. Now, when you get out there to look for the market and the need, you sit down and define the kind of market you're looking for. You don't just go and say, I'm going to be serving people and show up and say, oh, hi, you're a person. Can you answer this question? No. You know that I'm going to be serving these people. So the demographics really count. You need to be as specific as possible for your needs. So are you serving men and women? Are you serving men only or women only? What kind of age group? You can't have a product that both a baby and a 50-year-old use unless you're selling oxygen. So occupation, what do these people do? What income do they have that they can spend on random things? What income do they have that they can spend on needs? What kind of activities do they do? What kind of pressure do these people have? Are you serving people that are luxurious and have so much money to spend? Are you serving people that really have tight budgets to take care of their need? What kind of social and emotional needs do they have? So you go out there to say, what do they think? What do you think they have? You have assumptions, but when you do a market research and you're doing an analysis, they have given you an actual idea of what they think, the kind of products they need. They've also given you a way in how they solve the need you're already saying. For example, the example I keep using, if you're looking at producing a product that mothers use, when you do the interviews with mothers, you already know how they try and solve these issues with their children. So that gives you the idea of the competitors. It also, in the observation, you get to see needs that you did not think about before, but customers have shared, and it also gives you an idea of what needs they have they do not know they have, because sometimes somebody could have a problem and they do not know it is a problem. So moving on very fast, after you have done the customer needs that you get in the research, you break them down. Somebody could have told you a list of problems, but you're going to say, this is the biggest problem I'm trying to solve, and you break it down and say, from these needs, they could also be rooted with this need. So I am solving for babies that do not drink milk, and they do not drink milk because they can't use the cup, or it's heavy on them, or the mother has to be present. With these, children are malnourished if they don't drink milk. So you break down the needs. What is the bigger need? What's the primary needs? And what are the sub needs that root from this problem? Now, market trends. All these are things that you actually are analyzing after you've come back from the research. So you know your market, you know the user of the product. Sometimes maybe the person who's going to be buying your product is not the one that is going to be used. I said that yesterday. And now market trends, you know a period in which your product can be bought better than other periods if there's a shift in the market. If it's something that people use at all times, like food, for example, then there are times maybe your food can be consumed mostly in the morning versus in the evening. For example, if you're producing sweaters, there are more chances that people can buy more sweaters in the cold season than in the summer. So you know the trends on when your product can be used. So it's very important for you to have that in mind, because you don't want to assume that you're going to sell at all times unless you're really that good. But things evolve, and market trends gives you an idea of a projection. You could be working on an idea that right now has a few customers, but you can project and say, in 3 years with the development of technology, I will have more customers than I do right now. But at least you have customers to start with. You're not just going to create for a future batch of people that you do not know will exist. So when you are done looking at the needs and the market, what this analysis gives you is an idea of, should I go forward with my business? Should I stop the business? Should I tweak a bit the idea that I have? Because you can just find data and not use this data. So when you go and do the research and the assumptions you had at the beginning are validated 100%, then you go ahead. If you reach there and people do not want what you are bringing on the market completely, or there's no need for that product that you have in mind, or the need you had in the mind does not exist, then you change your idea completely. Or if you go out there and the need is existent, but the way your product solves the need is not like 100% the way you wanted it to do, then you are using the information they gave you to pivot. So when we say pivot, is still standing on the idea, but making a bit changes. If you are to pivot, maybe you found that the business isn't financially viable. People will not be able to afford your product, or one of your feature stands out and people are like, this is the only thing we're looking for. Then you can change it to serve the market. Now, so that is what you guys are going to be working on. I still remember to tell you guys there are tools that you can use, especially now that we are at the customer needs assessment. You can use Google Forms, Question Pro, surveys, so different kind of tools that help you collect data if you're collecting data online. So these are tools that you guys use regularly.